Hi everybody, welcome back. Please like, subscribe, share the channel, share the video, and if you wouldn't mind, leave a comment down below. I just once again got back from another 214-mile round trip in my Tesla Model 3 2022 with full self-driving, and it is so comfortable. I can't go back. I don't think I can ever drive any other car ever again. I'm not being funny. I'm just telling you, when you use this type of technology, when I can drive with my arms folded, no hands on the wheel, no feet on the pedals, for that amount of time, and watch YouTube videos or watch financial education videos or watch whatever I want to watch or listen to whatever I want or do whatever I want. It's hard to get away from that. Now, the Tesla sales and deliveries second quarter are about to come out, and let me just not sugarcoat this. It ain't going to be pretty. They are sales are way down, way down. Now there's a combination of reasons for that, and I don't need to tell you that, because if you're watching my channel, you already know. You know the numbers. But here's something a lot of people don't know. The media are focusing on Tesla's bad revenue. They're focusing on Tesla's lackluster sales worldwide, not just in the United States. And they're saying that the reason this is happening is nobody wants electric cars. That's a lie. The other reason they're saying it's happening is because everybody wants Chinese EVs. That's a lie. Even in China, people want Teslas. They talk about BYD and how many cars BYD are producing and selling, but what they don't tell you is many BYD cars are also hybrids. So they don't separate out, the numbers of EVs from BYD. And nothing wrong with BYD, but Tesla in China is considered the luxury vehicle. So there's a growing, very rapidly growing, by the way, middle class in China, and they want Teslas. So Teslas do good in China. The reality of the fact is, however, we are about to go into a recession. We all know it had to happen. Every economy in the world, every corner of the world propped up its economy during the 2020 crisis. Enormous amounts of money were pumped into economies. So what's happening here is happening everywhere. And the other reason that, first of all, I'm not scared about these Tesla numbers. It doesn't bother me in the least. And I'll come back to that in a minute. But the thing is, what the media are not telling you, especially in the United States, is every single auto manufacturer have bad sales. They're everywhere. Everybody across the board, worldwide, their sales are down. Now, many big companies like Volkswagen and Ford and General Motors and Toyota, they're getting crushed in China because the Chinese want electric vehicles, and they're buying BYDs, and they're buying, there's a million, by the way, there's a million brands in China who make electric vehicles, not just BYD, including Tesla, right? It's like every other week there's a new Chinese EV company. They are demolishing legacy auto. Now, in the United States, the other thing that comes out in the media is they tell you that Americans don't want EVs. They're not buying EVs. That's not true. They're not buying EVs that are made by Ford and General Motors and Volkswagen and other brands because, frankly, except for the Ford Lightning, which is a pretty decent EV truck, electric truck, most of the brands are not that great. And let me tell you something, when you drive a Tesla, nothing else compares. Nothing else compares. It's like the iPhone. You know, I know some people don't like the iPhone, but 99.9% of the population want the iPhone. There's another small percentage that like the Android. Now, don't quote me on the 99%. I'm sure it's less than that. I know there's a lot of Android users, but for the most part, it's the iPhone. Tesla is the iPhone. But the sales are about to come out. The deliveries are about to come out, and they're going to be disastrous. Now, I am not a financial advisor. Do not take this as financial advice. You need to do your own research. You need to pick your own stocks. You need to, I would highly suggest that you hire a financial advisor, a professional one, a fiduciary who's responsible to protect your money. Don't take any financial advice from any guy on YouTube. I'm just telling you what I do, and it works for me. Maybe one day it won't, but as of right now, it's working for me. So there's a couple of things that I will not be scared of when those numbers come out. Number one, they will most likely be disaster. They're coming out in a few days, actually. They will most likely be disastrous. The sales and deliveries will be down so low that the media are going to run with this story like nothing in history. And they're going to try to convince everybody that Elon Musk is done, Tesla is done, they're finished, it's all over. They're going bankrupt. This will be the narrative. I promise you this. And if it's not, it will be a first, because this is their MO. But that's going to be the narrative. And I can guarantee you two things. I will not be scared of that. And when the stock drops, and I believe it will drop, it may not. It may skyrocket. But if it drops, I will not be afraid to buy the dip or to buy more stock. I continuously buy Tesla stock. I've been doing it since 2017. The reason for that is this downturn in the vehicle sales is temporary. And you know how I always say that Tesla is not a car company? It's really not. It is temporarily. But there are a few things that are going on here that people are missing. Now, yesterday I did a video on the Robotaxi launch in Austin. They have, some are saying 10 vehicles, some are saying 15 vehicles. They've been out there since Sunday. They're doing very well. There's a couple of hiccups. A hiccup is far from being a dangerous need for a driver to take over. That hasn't happened. There was one instance where the monitor, they have what they call a safety monitor in the passenger seat. There was one scenario where he had to push a button because there was a UPS truck that was backing into them, and he had to push the button, the stop button on the screen, which he has access to. And it's only in the case of what he considered to be an emergency. And maybe if he didn't push the button, the UPS driver would have eventually seen him and stopped. By the way, I just had a mailbox taken out of my house by an Amazon guy, and I'm not sure they're going to pay up. A lot of these drivers, no disrespect to them, but many of them are not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Anyway, I digress. Those robotaxis are operating, and this is brand new rollout. I believe that they will ramp up relatively fast. But here's what I want you to get your head around. You have another company out there called Whimo. who also have driverless cars. They're doing pretty good. I believe Tesla will catch them, crush them, and they will be history. But let's say they're not, for argument's sake and for the sake of this video. In Austin now, Austin is a pretty large city. In Austin currently, there are 100 Waymo vehicles out there. They just added Tesla, just added another 10 or 15 depending on who you talk to. I believe that Tesla will ramp really fast down there. So let's say a month from now or 2 months from now, there's 200 driverless vehicles down there. You have Waymo and you have Tesla. Now, what's going to happen then is you're going to have the competition to Uber and Lyft and other rideshare services growing. So Waymo has a fee, which is pretty high. Uber has a fee that's cheaper than that. Tesla's fees are way below both of those. This is going to create a price war. And ultimately what's going to happen, which is what always happens in a price war, the consumer is going to benefit. Now, already we have a generation coming up that they would really rather not own a car, many of them. You know, the love affair with the automobile in the United States is history. It's over. There's a few guys like me, NASCAR guys left that love cars, but really the next generation, cars are boring to them. You know what they want to do in a car? They want to have a driverless robotaxi like a Tesla, and they want access to the screen at the back, which they have, and they want to play video games. That's what they want to do. Or they want to make YouTube videos, or they want to watch Netflix, or they want to do whatever it is they do. They're on their phones all the time. They want to be on their phones all the time in the car. All of these things changing, and all of these ride-sharing services and robotaxi services coming, they are already beginning to kill auto sales. Right? That's one segment. That's just one city. What will Austin look like when there's 500 of these vehicles operating? When it's actually cheaper to get an Uber or get a robotaxi or get a Waymo driverless, cheaper than owning a car. What is going to happen then? Ford, GM, all these big companies, they have $70,000 trucks, $80,000 trucks sitting in grassy fields, rotting. Right? They call it lot rot when cars sit for long periods of time. The tires literally rot. And you know the rule, if you don't drive a car, it doesn't last. It needs to be driven. So the Tesla numbers are definitely going to be bad. There's going to be a lot of fear around this, a lot of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. But getting back to the fact that Tesla is not a car company, I want you to understand something. Tesla are now building a car for about $37,000 that has the capability to operate as a robotaxi. And very soon, in many places in the country, eventually everywhere in the country, if you decide you want to own a car, you will be able to purchase. In fact, right now, that car that they are building down in Giga, Texas, is a robotaxi. You just flip a switch and it's a robotaxi. While it's not a robotaxi in the meantime, and it's not, you can't put it out in the network, it will drive you anywhere you want to go, just like my Model 3 is. In fact, much better than my Model 3. So Tesla is a technology company. Tesla may one day just be building cars for Tesla. We know that the Cybercab is coming. There's going to be a big announcement, probably over the 4th of July weekend. that they're ramping up production, or they're beginning production, should I say, for either the low-cost vehicle. I think it's going to be the low-cost vehicle, which is hopefully going to be a sub $30,000 vehicle. I know people refer to it as the $25,000 vehicle. They were talking about the $25,000 vehicle in 2019. That $25,000 now is $30,000. So for argument's sake, it will probably be below 30. It might be 29,999, but it will probably be below 30,000. But I'm just telling you right now, be prepared for really, really bad numbers to come out of Tesla, and be more prepared for the media headlines. And I'm telling you right now, they will be talking about Tesla facing bankruptcy, or lackluster car sales. They're in trouble. Ford is going to beat them. GM is going to beat them. Toyota are going to come in and beat them. It's not going to happen. It's not looking good for the auto industry going forward, because people are not going to want more cars. They're going to want less cars. And more people in the future are going to want no cars. So just be prepared. Now, don't take my word for this. There are a million YouTube channels out there, guys that are much bigger than my channel. I listen to them. I listen to the people that are talking about this. So it's out there. It's going to be happening. And I just want you to be prepared for this, because there will be a tsunami of bad news coming about Tesla within the next few days. I have full confidence that this is literally just a blimp on the radar, a blip on the screen. It's a tiny point in time where you will see some negativity. And once we get past this, I think the only way for Tesla to go after that is up. We have Optimus Robot Gen 3 is already in the works. They described Elon Musk today, some of the guys that are really, really high-level guys who really understand the company, understand Elon. Some of these guys know Elon very well. They're saying that he's actually in war mode right now. He is so laser focused on all of his companies that he is in war mode. That means if you're not doing your job, you're fired. You need to get the hell out of the way, because there's a tsunami coming. And it's not because of lackluster sales. It's because there will be an enormous production ramp coming for this low-cost vehicle, and for Optimus Robot, and for the Model Y, which is selling very well, by the way. But we had the factory retooling in the first quarter, and then you had the fallout from his political stuff, which definitely caused some brand damage. I think both of those things are the real reason why the sales numbers are down. It's a combination of both. You had the ramping, and then you had the brand damage, from Elon thinking he was a politician. By the way, Elon still has a lot of influence in Washington. Don't kid yourself. And the reason he has a lot of influence is Washington knows more than anybody else that this artificial intelligence, and don't kid yourself, Tesla is an artificial intelligence technology company. This is going to have enormous effects on the economy, enormous effects on jobs, and it's coming really, really fast. I want you to be prepared for that. And I want you to focus not just on Tesla. You have companies like NVIDIA, like Palantir, and there's another biotech company out there, gene editing company out there called CRISPR, CRSP is the ticker symbol. You need to understand that artificial intelligence is coming and it's working its way through the system. And there are going to be enormous amounts of people who are laid off. And what this is going to cause is it's going to cause, actually, it's not going to cause inflation. It's going to cause deflation. When people can't sell cars, the prices are going to drop. When Uber can't sell rides for $50 because there's another guy over here doing it for $10, the prices are going to drop. When people lose their jobs and they can't pay their mortgages and they can't leave the house they're in because they can't sell it to go somewhere else and get a job, this is going to cause deflation. We are going to be in a deflationary environment, and for a while it's going to be a struggle. We hope the government have a plan for this, but nobody really knows. But the government certainly need to start saving some money, because they're going to have to feed people, and they're going to have to be able to feed people en masse. So be prepared. As a Tesla investor, be prepared. That's what this video is about. All I'm saying is don't be scared when you see the Tesla stock tank. And like I said, it could go up, but it may tank. Anyway, thanks for watching. Do your own research. Seriously. Get yourself a fiduciary, financial advisor. Protect your money. Do everything in your power to protect your money. There are opportunities when things are bad. You know, they say, never let a good crisis go to waste. Thanks for watching.